What's up, mamas? I'm Rebecca. You're watching the Reseller Mom Show. Thanks for joining me today for my weekly What Sold Fast video for Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari. This is covering February 23rd through February 29th. Now, I will say that this week was a lot of slow sales. It's completely my fault. My attention has been elsewhere. I've been working on a few projects that hopefully will be wrapping up soon, and then I can dive in full force. I'm also working on very interesting, not sure what's going to happen with it, sourcing method or situation. So I've been really kind of working on that and crunching a lot of numbers. And so my attention has not been on like sending out my offers, really revising listings, like just getting in there with my reselling business. I've just kind of had it on much of autopilot. Obviously, I'm taking photos, but because I do have my VA and I'm very lucky to have her, she does a lot of the basics so that I can focus on other things. And then I just feel like when my attention is elsewhere, the reselling business suffers. Even if she's still doing all the basics of listing and whatever, it just, when you take your attention off of something, it kind of suffers. So this isn't a great week for overall total sales, but I will say I have about, I think, 8 sales that sold in less than 2 weeks with a couple of interesting points to make. And then a good amount of sales that sold for over $30, some good sellers. So I was happy with that. So let's dive in. We have been down, and this is the other thing. So production is lower because I'm taking the photos. I don't have my photographer. So I've only been doing 5 new listings a day, enough of photos on a Sunday to last the week for my VA to put the listings up. And then I've been having her go back and do 5 old listings relist. And I don't always do that. I go in and out of it because I don't always think it works. Well, in this particular week, I think I had 2 or 3 sales from relists. So I'm actually very happy with that. This is one of them. These are Liverpool. I think these are a Stitch Fix brand maybe. And they're the Vicky Short, and these had been up. I'm not sure. She might have changed. Yeah, she changed when it was listed, but I know it's a relist because I've had these a while. So these had been relisted before. They were all the way down. I have her scroll down just in, find the oldest listings in my closet, and relist them if they're over a certain dollar amount. This ended up being an offer, but because it was a relist, and I knew I had been sitting on them, I wasn't going to sit on them further. So I did take this $12 offer on Poshmark, and I clicked off my thing. So even though this was an older listing, from the new relist, it sold in 8 days. So something to note. This is another relist. This is just a Disney t-shirt, and honestly, I'm not really picking these up anymore. Obviously in Orlando, we see a plethora of Disney stuff, but I'm really just focusing in on key pieces, higher value pieces, authentic Disney parks pieces. I'm not just picking up the run-of-the-mill t-shirt anymore. This sold for $15, and that was a relist. So I had it listed. I think it was maybe from July is what it looks like it's showing here. Same as the Liverpool shorts, but from this current relist, it sold in 6 days of being listed. Okay. For 15. These shorts were new listing, just a normal new listing. And I tried out this way of doing a bundle. So there were 2 items, same exact size, just 2 different washes of, denim biker shorts, Bermuda shorts, and they're called the bicycle shorts. So I don't really know what's the difference between a bicycle and a Bermuda. They seem pretty similar to me, but these were noted as bicycle shorts. Anyway, so I knew I was going to sell them in a bundle together. So I put them both on hangers, as you can see from the cover photo, and just had them both showing that way. Sometimes I do a photo collage and I write in bundle of 2 and do stuff to the actual photo. So I'm just experimenting with different ways because I have been doing a lot more lots, bundles, 2 items, 4 items, whatever. And so I'm always experimenting with the best way to handle that cover photo. So anyway, these did actually sell in a bundle of other items. So they did not sell for $29, but the bundle altogether sold for a decent amount. So I don't have the exact figure, but it was good overall. And those sold within 5 days of being listed. And these were, I think they're loft. Why is that? Is there no? Yeah, loft. Hello. Oh, it says right there. What's wrong with me? This next sale was excellent. So at the last Style Encore clearance sale, I ended up upon like the hidden Mecca stash of torrid dresses. Now, none of them were on clearance, but something was telling me just grab them anyway. And so I grabbed them all and put them in my pile. And then I decided, like, should I get them? Should I not get them? in my in my plus size reseller boxes, I try to put at least one torrid item in every box because it's been very highly requested. And so I always want to have enough torrid in-house if I can. Now, obviously, I wasn't willing to pay Style Encore regular price to put in a reseller box. I would really lose money on that. But maybe some of the torrid clearance items could go in reseller boxes. And then if I wanted to sell any torrid that were too heavy, because that's what happens sometimes, is that on a plus size box, there are some items that are great that I want to put in there, but in order to hit the amount that I need to, total number of items, I can't put these heavier pieces. And obviously it's plus size, there's more fabric. So certain torrid pieces I cannot put in a box, and this was one of them. It would go flat rate, so it's over a pound, which is quite often for plus size items. And it was also just very bulky because it had all the lining underneath and all the ruffly skirt. But it was a torrid Disney new with tags collaboration with like all the princesses and like sketch all over it. It was a gorgeous dress, and I knew it would sell. I didn't know it would sell on Mercari, but I had it up on Poshmark for $49. So then it got put on Mercari for $53 because on Mercari I do free shipping, so we always add $4. Even though this would go flat rate, which is more than $4, it just helps out. And then I got the offer for $46 and I took it. And that was in 2 days of it being listed, and I thought that was fantastic. So she got a great deal. It was like an over $60 dress. So she got it for $46 with free shipping. And so I thought that was fantastic. And I knew I have one more of this type of thing, a new with tags torrid Disney collaboration. It's black. So I hope that that one goes and does well as well. Okay. This Nike jacket, I wasn't sure if it was going to sell, but I'm happy it did. And that's why I took it, because it's actually messed up. Or, well, I don't know. Maybe it's not. Interesting. I don't know why I'm having an issue. So anyway, maybe it's not messed up. So this, I thought it was like a factory mess up, but maybe it's not. I noted it as a factory regular because it had this cover over the Nike part, but I'm looking in the stock photo and it has it. So I don't know, I'm having a brain fart, sorry. Anyway, it's a $110 jacket. I got it at the Ross clearance sale. So my average on those was less than, no, it was like $240. And so I think I had this up for $39 because again, I thought this was like a factory defect. Maybe it wasn't. Oh well. Anyway, $34 is fine with me. It was a quick flip. It sold in 2 days of being listed. I made from $2 to $34, obviously minus fees, etc. So that's fine with me. And so it is what it is. Somebody got a great deal. Maybe I could have gone more if I waited, maybe not, but I'm happy to take my profit and run. I feel like maybe I should put that on a shirt. Take your profit and run. Or a mug. Maybe it's better on a mug. Anyway, next up. So that took 2 days to sell. This dress sold in 1 day. This is another Ross clearance item. Paid about $240 for it. I think I have all of these up for about $39. And so I think this was a 30% offer to likers, which is how it got down to $27. And then someone accepted the offer. But These are kind of bulky because they are bigger, more fabric dresses, thicker fabric, and so trying to fit them all in the IKEA bag was a challenge. But I do want to quick flip these. I don't want to sit on them. I could definitely see these listings getting old. You know, having done some liquidation and having some brand name dresses like this, it's hit or miss. It's like it has to be the right size and the right style. The stock photo, of course, helps to show the fit. And so I really don't want to be sitting on these. I want to quickly flip them. So this was a new with tags Calvin Klein, and it sold for $27 on Poshmark in one day of being listed. It's really pretty. Next up is this hooded pink jacket, the spell out. This sold for an offer of $20. This sold in one day of being listed. I'm just not sure about pink anymore. Obviously, this is a jacket, and it's more of a cool look because it's kind of plain black with the pink spell out, and so maybe this would have done better if I let it sit longer, but I don't want to take any chances. Pink is one of those things where it's like it does okay and then it doesn't, so I think it really depends on the item, and I don't want to be sitting on it. So $20 for that I thought was fine. And the next up, oddly enough, is also a pink item, but this was a relist. I've had this, and this is why I say, like, I probably maybe shouldn't have picked this up. I picked it up because it was pink, but it sat. And this was originally from June of last year. It got relisted and sold the same day. I don't think I had it up for 13. I think I had it up for 15 and they sent me an offer, or I had it up for 19 and it was a 30% offer to likers. I don't remember, but it's a pink velour striped. It's, you know, I don't know if it's a dress or like a swim cover up. My VA listed it as a dress. Maybe that's why it took so long to sell. I don't know. That's the problem when most of what she does is perfect, but there are a lot of things that get, I don't think it's lost in the translation, but like she sees it as a dress. Maybe it is actually more of a swim cover up. I don't know myself, but I would have also put that additionally in the listing. But sometimes I just let her drafts go up. I don't get in there and revise every single thing or read every single thing she writes, because then I might as well just do it myself. I mean, Poshmark listing is easy, that I can quickly do it myself. What I find the most time consuming of Poshmark listings is loading the photos, and so when I take the photos, she gets them all in one giant folder and loads all the photos and creates the drafts, and I just price it and make it live. And so I do try to keep it as streamlined as possible, because things sell, and if I can take that cream off the top and then what doesn't sell go back in and fix things because it didn't sell for a reason, I'd rather do it that way. Maybe in the future I will change my tune on that, but for right now with Poshmark listings, I just want to get it up and see what happens. So let's go over the overall numbers, and then I'll show you all the higher value items that sold. So like I said, this particular week was somewhat abysmal. 30 items selling on Poshmark in my main on my rack store for a total of $686 in sales. 4 items, reseller boxes, sold in the Reseller Mom Show closet. So I sold 4 reseller boxes for $135. Honestly, I didn't share my reseller boxes. I haven't mentioned the reseller boxes since the sale I did last week. I just kind of put it aside, and that's the great thing about having the reseller boxes, is I can push it when I want to. When I have extra inventory and I put out that sale, I sold a bunch of boxes in one day, like 10 or something, and that was fantastic last week. But then this week I was working on other things. 4 sold, of course I sent them out, but I wasn't pushing it, and so I can kind of pick it up and put it down, which I like. On eBay I had no sales, but I do have an announcement on that coming soon. And then on Mercari I had the 1 sale, which was the Torrid dress. So a total of 35 items sold, which is crazy town, like terrible. I think there was one day I only have 1 item to send out, and I was like, what is going on here? Because I mean, I used to send out, I used to always average 10 items a day, no problem, when I had Poshmark and eBay. And then it went to almost 15 pretty consistently. And then when I got rid of eBay, it went back down to about 10. And now I'm like, bleh. But again, I'm only putting up 5 new listings a day. The rest is relists, and I haven't been really attentive to the app. So you can't blame, it's not Poshmark's fault. So $867 in sales, gross ASP of $24.77, which is fine. 8 items sold in 2 weeks or less, 5 items sold in 1 month or less, 7 items sold in 2 months or less, 2 items selling in 2 to 6 months or less, and then 10 from 6 months plus. Now, that does include the relisted item, does it? No, it doesn't include the relisted items. So I still had 10 older items sell that weren't relisted. And then the ones that were relisted are showing up as new, and those are included in the 8. So I think that's interesting as well, because then I really did get rid of a lot of older items, but some are in the relist section and some are in the old section. So that's good to know. Okay, so we had 5 sales over $30. This is a new with tags Ralph Lauren bathing suit. I got it in a bathing suit liquidation lot of customer returns that I bought like right before last summer. Yep, these went up in June, and it was terrible because I thought it had a certain, I did a whole video on it. Like I thought it had a certain amount of pieces, so I was thinking items, but they were 2-piece suits. So really that was the number of pieces. And so what I thought was like a $9 per item cost for new with tags designer bathing suits, which I was comfortable with, it ended up being more like $17, $18 per bathing suit, not per item, because I wasn't selling them as separates. I was selling them as sets because it said sets. So I was thinking there were 50 sets, but it turns out there were 25 sets and 50 pieces. So when that box came, I was so upset. And so I was just, I sold a good amount of them for good profit, but there's a few stragglers that I still have that for a while I was like, I'm not going to take anything less. I'm not going to lose money on these. I'm not going to take anything less. And now, even though we are coming into swimsuit season, now is the time that people are buying them for their vacations. I do not want to sit on these for another season, so I'm letting them go. So this one, it's a $139 bathing suit. The offer was for $30 that I sent out, and it's like, okay, fine, it is what it is. So that's the long story short on that one. This is a new with tags Tadashi Soji dress. I wish that this dress fit me. It was actually a little big for me, even though it was a large, and I'm usually a large now these days. It was big for me, and so I couldn't keep it, but I wanted to, because orange is my favorite color. Anyway, so it was an offer for $35. It's a $350 dress. Someone got an amazing deal, and I don't remember where I got it, but obviously, my average item cost for this year now is down to $150, but it's usually about $2 for last year, so it's fine. This is a Nicole Miller dress, and I think this was from a local closet clear out, and I probably only paid like $2 or $3 for it, because on the local closet clear outs I'm not really paying up for a lot of items unless it's a sure thing. I don't want to be giving these people all this money and then having them kind of expect it. I'd rather not lowball them, but give them a lower price. If they say something and I really want the item, maybe I'll raise my amount, but for the most part I'm trying to lowball on the lower end, so that there's kind of an expectation of what my pricing strategy is, and people aren't like, well, you paid me $5 for this, but are only giving me $2 for that, and I'm trying to avoid that. Anyway, so this was a Nicole Miller, and it wasn't a Nicole by Nicole Miller, it was a Nicole Miller, $35 offer on this. I thought it was great. It's a beautiful dress. I think those sleeves are cool looking. I don't know how you would ever actually do anything with those crazy sleeves, but whatever. And so that was a great sale. The Nike jacket for $34, so that was over $30. And then the last one is a North Face jacket for $49. I don't want to be sitting on these. It's going to be a whole year. We're going to go into the summer and this and that. So, if I'm getting decent offers on jackets and things like that, I'm taking them. I think I don't remember if that was an offer. I'm pretty sure I had that up for more money, and then she did an offer of 49. I can't remember. Um, but yes, so those are all the over $30 sales. So I mean, in comparison, it's really odd. Like that's a lot of money in sales right there because they're higher value, and I only did, $800 to begin with. 135 of it was the reseller boxes. I had all of those, which is a good almost 2 or 300. Then the Mercari sale was almost $50. So really all the other sales that I had this week were like me, little tiny sales. And some weeks I have a lot of tiny sales, and then some weeks I have a lot of better sales. It is what it is, and I have to get used to it myself. And if you struggle with that, maybe you need to get used to it too. It's just the name of the game. It ebbs and flows for the majority of resellers. I mean, I think there are people out there that have great high value sales all the time because that's what they're picking up. I struggle with that. I struggle with being a disciplined sourcer. And so I have items in my store that don't command a higher value. So I can't expect to sell them for a higher value. I'm just happy that they sell. And so the profit is always there to be made. And sometimes it's a few dollars and sometimes it's 10 extra money. You never know. But it's all about what you're putting in your store will lead you to those outcomes. So I do want to try to put better things in my store, but sometimes you have to source what you get and what you can make profit on. And as long as you're making profit and you're being mindful of those profits, I think it's okay. So that's my pep talk to me. That's my pep talk to you. If you needed it, if you didn't, well, that's a bonus. So I hope everyone has a great week. I'm also going to do my February month in review, so stay tuned for that as well. Those videos will both drop today. Thanks, and I will see you in the next video. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. Like this video, please, and leave me a comment and let me know how your sales were this week. Bye!